There is no question that Riot over the LEC orgs doing this. There's no question. Guys, the TTK podcast has its very first sponsor. For the rest of the year, this show will be brought to you by Cash App. Cash App offers these dope personalized debit cards that you can completely customize to your own style, and when you use the card, you get access to exclusive discounts on everything from coffee to concert tickets. But the best feature that you get with Cash App has to be how not annoying this card is. No hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements, just a top-notch product. And to celebrate our partnership with Cash App, we're giving away cash. All you have to do is tune into new episodes of React each week, pay attention for the secret code that appears during the show, and enter it along with your cash tag at www.tsecash.com. By doing that, you can win $250 in cash deposited straight into your Cash App account. Some terms apply. And we are going to be giving away some this week. So make sure you turn into React and see how you can win. Riot have shoved Los Ratones into the LEC. I think it's a good thing.
We were talking about this the other day, right? That, like, let's be honest, they pull in more views and interest from within the community and outside of the community than a healthy chunk of tier 1 orgs do. If that's the prize asset of European League right now, it makes complete sense to stick it in the LEC, I think.
This is one of those things where it's like, there was no elegant way to do this. Like, because the reason people are mad, right, is because, like, Riot have basically gone to these LEC rosters, orgs rather, and said, like, yeah, so we're just going to get rid of the first split and we're just going to have a kickoff tournament, right? And the orgs may or may not have agreed.
Kameto went on stream and said there wasn't even a single person who agreed with that idea. They just f***ed us. So basically, the LEC teams didn't agree to this upcoming change where in the winter split, Los Ratones is included.
That's so the reason people are pissed, because I feel like this is worth clarifying, is like all these LEC orgs paid literally millions of euros to be in this league, right? For a seat at the table, right? They want like some say in how the LEC unfolds, right? And Riot basically came to them and was like, yeah, so we're just going to like shove Caedrel's team into this league because it's actually more important to us right now than like basically any of you. So rightfully, I understand why the LEC teams are like, well, you, right? You know, Los Ratones' success has nothing to do with us, right? Like, we want our teams to be in the limelight, not this other team.
I guess the question is, what limelight is there at the minute? The limelight is dwindling rapidly.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, yes, you can fight over the limelight and say, we deserve the limelight, but it's like, it's not a very big limelight. I've never
Do you think the best opportunity for these LEC teams, like the best thing for them, speaking of this limelight, is to play Los Ratones? Imagine you're an LEC team, an established LEC team, right? And you're like G2. You're G2, right? There's only two things that are exciting for you as G2. Play against like T1 at Worlds, like this way, which is like we're going to play against an LPL team at Worlds. People will watch that. Or play against a ERL team that has the Baus FFS playing AP Aurelia.
I think there's a point there where just like it's only going to be a net pause. It's like having Simple on your team, even though he might be washed, right?
Yeah.
Where just like, yeah, we might not be winning tournaments, but we have Simple, and he's going to bring in viewers, and it's going to be the most entertaining thing that people are going to watch. How are their chances? Is what I'm more curious about against a team like G2.
I think they stand a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would suggest they don't stand a chance. Like it's going to be a bloodbath. Like,
do you see them winning?
Yeah. I could see a world in that. It's not crazy to think that. It's easy to like forget some of these names on their team.
Yeah.
Reckless is a world's finalist.
Yeah.
There's literally like, 50 people on the planet that can say that or something, or 60, and Reckless is one of them.
He's technically a world's winner, Danny.
Well, and then years later, technically, he won from the bench.
He technically held a trophy up at Worlds.
That's true.
While Caedrel screamed, LEC wins Worlds.
Yeah.
In my books, that counts.
You won Worlds! As a fan standpoint, like, did they earn their spot?
So this is an interesting thing, right? Because what's so interesting to see the backlash around all of this is like I've seen people on Twitter and God, Redditors be like, guys, make sure you boycott the LEC. Make sure you don't watch this. Don't watch the kickoff because we have to make sure that we don't support this team who didn't earn their spot. They didn't earn the only LEC teams that I like to watch are the ones who earned their spot. Yeah. It's like if there's this attitude of like unless it's like made locally, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to see any teams here that didn't earn their. As a fan experience, I have two questions. One, why do you care? how many euros, how many millions of euros teams may or may not have paid to Riot to play League of Legends. In what fucking world do you think Los Ratones have not earned, quote unquote, earned a shot in the LEC? They've won the tournaments fucking times. There's nothing left for them to win.
This is it, right? If we agree that obviously there's no promotion or relegation,
Exactly.
right? But there are clearly defined tiers, and they have gone to the highest point they possibly can without getting into tier 1. They physically can't get into tier 1 unless something like this happens, right? Yeah, there's nowhere else for them to go. This is the next step for them.
But it is interesting that, like, to see things like Los Ratones happen, where you first start reporting on it, you first start talking about it, and you're like, well, there's no way we're going to get to this point. It's stories like this that I think make esports so interesting. So why wouldn't you reward them?
Yeah, and we should also be clear. I think part of the upset here that's going on is it's not a clear-cut, like, Los Ratones are now in the LEC as we know it. First of all, I think is a good thing because it allows us to, like, test the waters, see how the fans like it, see how Riot likes it, see everyone likes it just for the winter. But it also means that if it doesn't go well or the teams aren't happy, hopefully they will get a say in it when it comes to, like, next year if Riot tries to go one step further and says, you know, Los Ratones, we want to put them in the league. Full stop. Full franchise spot. But that's not what this is.
No.
So people are already preemptively getting upset as if they've actually been put in the LEC and it's so unfair to the current orgs. But, like, that's not what's happening here, right? What's happening is a bit more of an experiment. It's a viewership
It's also
grab,
happened in other regions. Like, this is not like, it's just people are upset because of all the Los Ratones hype. I think that there are, like, established LEC fans who are getting upset at all the people who are, like, you know, bandwagoning onto this, like, content stack meme team that's winning everything. Whereas these people, you know, they're, like, the purists who, like, watch their LEC every Saturday, and you know what I mean? And they're getting so miffed at the idea.
It's like people have completely forgotten that this whole industry is about eyeballs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how pure and storied the product is. Oh, I know it's not the same as 20. It doesn't matter unless people are watching it. We wouldn't be sat here talking about any of this unless other people were talking about it. So you cannot criticize Los Ratones for creating that.
Yeah, if you're mad about teams that didn't earn their spot, I'm sure you don't like watching literally any organized traditional sports league, because there's a lot of teams that don't earn their spots to be there and are just there for the sake of money.
I mean, the whole franchise league
I was
system,
just about to
to
say,
me
man.
Anyway, is just it's absolutely insane.
So if you're
it's
into
like
you're
award, there's no punishment for playing like absolute crap
Yeah.
because 10 years ago, 3 owners ago, someone paid 10 million bucks.
Yeah.
So you can just play like every year. That is horrific to, like, European football fans. That's like, what do you mean?
I was having this conversation with our boss, and he was asking me about this, you know, the business side of this, and I said to him, he looked at me and he was like, isn't there, like, what they should do, he said, is they should put in some kind of, like, relegation promotion system, and I f***ing cackled.
So Chris invented it.
Chris is like, this is what happened. The reality is esports has always been about 5 people in a server, throw a stack together, win the major. Like, that's always been the dream. And Los Ratones are doing that from the standpoint of they're fulfilling a fantasy that we have not had in League of Legends in so long that people have actually forgotten what it looks like. And to your point, Danny, people have forgotten that, like, once upon a time, this is actually what structured LCS, you know, EU LCS, NA-LCS, League of Legends looked like. Team houses and jerseys with 5 guys come together, put a team, and they're in, like, a structured league, but, like, they're just like a stack. They just start playing it, right? And they run their way to the final, and CLG beats TS, and it's like this amazing, like, the problem is that was actually a decade ago, and people now have forgotten that what Los Ratones are doing is what esports was built on. Like, it's the foundation. The fact that League of Legends players are allergic to this Los Ratones thing is, I think it says a lot what they've come to expect out of the professional experience.
It's because, not to keep bringing it back to this, but it is because of the sterilizing experience of franchising a league. Like, that is ultimately it. Like, people have forgotten the kind of original roots of it, and there's this sort of, like, it's just created this kind of new status quo, this kind of untouchable state of the league, and so people can't even imagine a world where things are done a bit more off the cuff or done on merit.